And I want to thank everyone for joining us again, or if it's your first evening with Robin's presentation, very cool. I apologize for the dogs in the background if you can hear that. We've had a lot of sirens off and on today, and they are rambunctious, to put it mildly. You'll be getting a post-event survey. We ask that you fill it out if you're able to. It gives us an idea of what you thought of the workshop, as well as ideas you might have for what you'd like us to have in the future for programming. You might want to choose speaker view on your Zoom account when Robin is speaking, so that you can see her and not see all of us necessarily in the gallery all the time.
Well, also, if you're on speaker view, when you are sharing your song with us, we will all see you really well.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And, you know, Robin will let you know when to unmute and all of that kind of thing. And that's about it. We'll have a few links we'll put in the chat. And yeah, I'm going to turn that over to Robin.
Okay, thanks. Oh, and if anyone wants to be on my email list, you can put the email in your email in the chat, and I will at some point get it. Right. So, all right, welcome, guys. So, Matt, since you weren't here, we talked about how blues impacted the Harlem Renaissance, and especially the poetry of Langston Hughes. And we did some readings, and his poems sound a lot like blues songs. And then we talked about the structure of blues songs, like a 1-4-5 structure. And we didn't talk a lot about locking the words into the rhythm, which is so important for both blues and poetry. You know, like iambic pentameter, right? Everything has da-da, da-da, da-da. It has a rhythm, and you want to lock into that. That's what makes a song work, and that's what makes poems work. So I thought, and we talked about different poetic techniques like personification and metaphor, and that's all I can remember at the moment. We had a long list. It's on the slideshow, which is on YouTube. But I thought I would do a few of my original tunes for you guys, so that just to share. And I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but I thought I'd start with so there are, you know, sad blues, angry blues, happy blues, silly blues, gospel blues, all kinds of blues. And I'm going to start with a tune that I wrote for my son. I was an art director, and the first thing that happened when I was an art director was I stopped cooking, because I had over an hour commute each way. And my son was 10 at the time, and I got really tired of his food choices. So, and that's a cool thing, you know, every song has a story. Every song tells a story, and every song has a story. So, I love that about songs. So this is my son Jesse's Junk Food Blues. He's got those junk food junkie blues. Junk food junkie blues. Give him a double quarter pounder large, fries and a shake if you want to keep him happy, mama. That's what it takes. Give him what he's craving, or you'll hear this refrain. He wants to eat junk food all day. He's got those junk food junkie blues. Junk food junkie blues. It's so politically correct to eat salad and rice. They tell you all that grease is not very nice. He don't care what they say, he knows what he likes. He'll take his greasy burgers any day over rice. He's got those junk food junkie blues. Junk food junkie blues. Give him potato chips and onion dip and Coke on the rocks. Give him something fried, he don't like bagels and lox. Top it off with ice cream smothered in fudge. Could this be why couch potatoes don't budge? He's got those junk food junkie blues. Junk food junkie blues. Well, they say no pain, no gain, so darling, listen to me. The road you're headed down will lead to gastro misery. Carrot sticks and water sound like torture to you. That's what you'll be eating if you keep on with these junk food junkie blues. Oh yeah, those junk food junkie blues. Ah, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. So the interesting thing about this song, it's done in a very primitive format. I mean, it doesn't have a chorus. It has a refrain that repeats at the end. And it doesn't even have a turnaround. Like, we talked about 1-4-5 blues, and, you know, normally there'd be a turnaround in between the verses. There isn't even one. It just ends on, each verse ends back on the one. And does everyone know what I mean when I say 1-4-5? Do you guys know? Some of it, mostly. Okay, so the musical alphabet goes from A to G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it repeats. And not always, but 90% of the time, whatever chord you start on is the one chord and the key you're in. Okay, so you just, a 1-4-5 progression goes from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord, and then to the 5 chord. So you count. So this is in the key of G, although it's capo, so it's really in the key of A, but I'm playing a G. So G is 1. So G, A, B, C. C is the 4 chord. What's the 5 chord? Anybody want to guess what comes after C in the alphabet? D. Right? So this is a very simple song. It just has 3 chords, G, C, and D. It's a 1-4-5 progression, except it doesn't have a turnaround in between. It hangs on the 1, which is very common for early blues. And so that's all I wanted to say about that song. And let's see, I'm gonna, so all right, I wanted to do, so last time we got together, I sent you guys a backing track, which was a 1-4-5 blues in E, and it was actually I wanted to play you. So this is when I was really sick, pretty close to the beginning of the pandemic, and I was in bed for 88 days with COVID. And the first thing I did was I took an old blues song, which is a great way to start writing if you haven't written a lot of songs, is to take a song you love and change the words, right? And eventually change the tune. I mean, so anyway, I took a blues song that I play a lot called Karina, Karina, and I changed it to Corona, Corona. So this is the coronavirus blues. Corona, Corona, you've been here way too long, 88 days. Corona, Corona, been here way vaccinated. Wash your hands and social distancing. Corona, your days are numbered here. I hope. Corona, your days are numbered here. But if we all work together, there'll come a time you'll disappear. Thank you. So that's a 145. That's a lot like the backing track that I sent you guys. I want to show you another. This is another blues in E, but it has a slightly different feel. I guess it feels more like a Muddy Water blues in E, maybe. Well, I could do. No, I better not do that when I haven't practiced it. Dang. I didn't get to practice, so I'm staying in safe waters here. This is called Find Somebody Else's Heart to Break. Early in the morning, late at night, all you wanna do, boys, fuss and fight. You know I done my best. I tried to treat you right, but you don't like my home cooking, even when I'm cooking all night. I gave you my time, you weren't around. I gave you my heart, true story, stomped her in the ground. You said I'm tired of this scene. Got to get on my life. Well, darling, I'm tired too. Better find a new fool to take your jive. You see, I'm tired of the lies, tired of the pain. Got the nerve to tell me I'm the one to blame. I don't think so. Oh. Don't need this grief. I need a sweet loving man, someone who's gonna bring me some kind of relief. If words were knives, I'd be covered in scars. I'm moving on. Man, these two guitars and my ukulele, I'm gonna quit you, baby. I took all I could take. So you better find yourself somebody else. You better find yourself somebody else. You better find yourself. Somebody else's heart to break. Thank you. So, I got 2 more songs for you guys, if that's okay. And then I'm going to open it up for your songs. Oh, and I just want to, so for those of you who don't know, I'm so thrilled that Matt Silliman is here because he is the luthier who built my guitar, which has allowed me to keep playing in spite of like a thumb broken in 2 places. And yeah, so this is he calls it the round robin. It's a Matt Silliman guitar. Anyone who needs an amazing guitar, he's the guy to talk to.
Well, I have to say, Robin, it's sounding very good. You've played it in beautifully.
The more you play, the better they sound, right? Yeah, I just love. It's my go-to guitar all the time.
I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, in fact I have my Taylor guitar. Anyone wants to buy a beautiful Taylor, I'll never play it again. I don't need to. I've got the Matt Silliman guitar.
Well,
so, yeah, I love it. I totally love it. I'm so grateful. So this is a ukulele blues, and every now and then, well, hopefully it'll happen again, but I used to join these song circles and they would give you a theme. The audience would pick a theme and the songwriters that are coming the following month would have a month to write a song on the theme. And it's a great way to write on demand, right? So actually, this song was not done for a theme. This song just came to me. I love when that happens. You know, Reverend Gary Davis, prolific songwriter, and he wrote that Peter, Paul, and Mary covered one of his songs, the one about Tear This Building Down, If I Had My Way, and 12 Gates to the City, and they, as the good folk singers they were, they wanted to give him credit so he could get royalties. So the lawyers called Reverend Gary Davis into their office and they said, "Did you write this song?" And he said, "No." And they were like rejoicing. They were like, "Ha, we don't have to pay this guy." And then he said, "It just came to me." So this is one of those songs that just came to me. It's called Trouble. Trouble just come to me. Trouble, I hear you knocking and banging on my back door. Trouble, storm clouds rising, storm's coming for sure. I changed my name. Trouble found me just the same. I left my home, bound to roam this world alone. Trouble, stop knocking on my door. Sorrow, I hear you weeping and wailing all night long. Sorrow, I kneel you in the notes of this song. I changed my name. Sorrow found me just the same. I left my home, bound to roam this world alone. Sorrow, don't come by here no more. Thanks, guys. Okay, are you okay with one more tune? So this one was from a song circle, and the theme was I need to tune. The theme was redemption, and it was really interesting because I can't talk in tune. There are days when I can. Today's not one of them. Sorry. So some of the people didn't know what redemption was, which I thought was really interesting for songwriters, and it was a really wide variety of tunes that came out of that theme. But I loved it. One of my guitar heroes is Blind Willie Johnson, who I think he was like one of the best slide players that ever lived, and he has an amazing story, which I'll tell you another time if you ask me. But so he was a blind street gospel blues singer, and so this is done in the style of Blind Willie Johnson, and it's called Redemption Road. Thank you so much, guys. So those are just a few of the blues songs that I've written. I've written instrumentals. I've had a couple of instrumentals licensed to PBS, and I've written flowy folk songs. And there was one year I I wrote this song, and it was Poetry Month, and I rewrote the song to fit a poem instead of the other way around, and I submitted it to this contest. I was so excited about it, and I forgot to give it the title. And they said, "Congratulations, your poem, Untitled, has won the Poetry of the Month award, and you are now a poet." I forget what you call it, like a ambassador, poet ambassador to the world, and just for $79.99 you can get a beautiful book with your poem Untitled in it. It was so funny. They did send me a certificate, but anyway, so those are all in the blues genre, all those songs that I just played for you. Hopefully you could see there's such a wide variety of things you can do and still be in that blues bubble. But I'd love to hear about your process, how it went writing, and I'd like to hear your songs if you guys can be brave and take a chance. So unmute, and I'll just pick people, or you can volunteer. Joe?
I'll go first because
I knew you were gonna. Yes.
Okay.
Take her. Take her.
Jude, go.
okay. Robin is Beth's and my teacher. This in no way reflects the excellence of her teaching. I don't have space in my brain as I'm doing this for doing the instrumental and doing the words and performing. So
It's a lot.
really, really dumbed down. It's called the Snowbird Blues. Only 3 verses are written because in real life, only 3 verses are written.
But that 3 verses are a lot. Some people never get past verse 1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My baby left me out in the cold and the gray. My sweetie left me, couldn't last another day. To the south he fled, left me shivering in my bed, got the snowbird blues. Packed up his road bike, packed up his bourbon and his tools. He made it his business to top his van with fuel. He slipped away at dawn. My baby done me wrong, got the snowbird blues. The southern sun warms his golden brown skin. He strolls the seawall with his half-cocked lazy grin. No one to hold his hand, 2 lone footprints in the sand, got the snowbird blues.
Good job. That was great. I love that. Now you got to copyright it. It was a good song. That's great, Jude.
That was a
You
good
played it
song.
really well.
It's fun. It's just plain fun.
It was
That's
wonderful.
what it should be.
Oh, I loved it.
Okay, I'm on the other side of my anxiety. Good, I'm done.
I need some relief now, Robin.
Okay, Joe, you want to go next?
Yeah, I need to get on the other side of that too. All right, this one is like this is more of a holy blues, and no accompaniment. I'm just gonna sing it as it came to me. The Lord's been good to me. The Lord's been good to me. Don't take me where I want to go, but takes me where I need to go. The Lord's been good to me. My Lord looks after me. My Lord looks after me. Watches everything I do, guides me everywhere I go. My Lord looks after me. The Lord will take me home. The Lord will take me home. Never gonna be alone, living in my heavenly home. The Lord will take me home.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like what you did. You know, after would have been too short to fit the rhythm of the verse that you were doing, but you stretched it out so it was perfect.
You have to stretch it out.
Right, but
Yeah.
but some people wouldn't realize that, and they would leave it short, and it wouldn't work.
Gotcha.
That was good. That was
Thank you.
really good.
Thank you.
I like holy blues.
I know you do.
Okay, who? Beth?
Okay. Okay. Yes, Robin is an amazing teacher, and I hope I do right by her.
Oh, stop.
This is a blues that it's been so darn windy, and we had our time last Friday, I said, oh, I want to write a blues, and then one day it was just horrible. It was a horrible windy day last week, and I don't know, the wind is just somehow haunting me. So that's where this is coming from, called the Mighty Wind Blues. Okay. Oh, whew. Oh wait, okay, stop. I'm gonna stop again. Woke up this morning, the wind was howling through the trees. Woke up this morning, the wind was howling through the trees. Said, take it easy, baby. I'm already down on my knees. Oh, mighty wind, if you want to blow, then blow away my blues. Oh, mighty wind, if you want to blow, then blow away my blues. You just go ahead now, 'cause I got nothing else to lose. It's only 2 verses.
Well, now you have to write like at least one more verse. That is a great
Okay.
song.
Oh,
That's
thank
really
you.
good. I love that. Howlin' Wind
Thank you.
Blues. Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It
One
feels
more
good to be
verse.
done. Okay, one more verse.
All right. James, I know you're there. You're muted and there's no picture, but did you write a song? James? Because I know you texted me about songs. I don't know if he can hear me. Or Vicky, did you write a song? I guess is that
Oh, okay. I didn't. I'll tell you what happened. I'm not musical, and I was sitting here with um, having dinner with some people, and I told them about this gathering, and I read a Langston Hughes poem, and I said, now we have to devise our own blues poem. I didn't say that we had to create music because
right?
I thought that was a little going overboard for us. But so I had just told my friends a story that had happened to me this week about riding an e-bike and how I had a little bit of a catastrophe. And so I didn't actually write this poem, but one of my friends did, who's sitting here, but who's kind of shy. And so I'm going to read it. And I don't think it's exactly the right, you know,
It's fine.
whatever, but I'll try to put a little rhythm to it. And it's called E-Bike Blues. Okay. Hope I can read what's happening here. Bought an e-bike because I like to ride. But working, what was that word? Working?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but working on the hills.
Okay, try again. Bought myself an e-bike because I like to ride. But work in the hills would break my stride. The new bike eased my exhaustion woes. With one exception, wouldn't you know? At the top of the hill, while waiting for my partner, my bike decided on its own charter. A trip of its own through the bushes there, leaving me on my back with my legs in the air, Sorry, I couldn't read it.
That's really good.
A tune if you wanted to.
I especially liked the repetition at the end. That was really effective. And
Yeah,
that felt a
said,
lot like Langston Hughes.
yeah, we needed the repetition. And the first verse, bought an electric bike, and then I ended it with a repetition.
Right, I liked that. It tied it together. That was well done.
Sorry, I couldn't see it well. It's kind of dark in here.
Thank you for sharing that. That's great. You know, I've done this presentation. The youngest grades I did this with were fourth graders, and at the second half when they were going to present, they all dressed up like they were in the Harlem Renaissance.
Oh,
They
wow.
had hats and flappers, and they read their poems, and they wrote great poems, but they were all about how they hate school and homework.
Oh dear.
but they did it, so it was cool. So did I miss Matt? Do you want to play a song for us?
I'll have to pass, brother. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't want to leave you out.
No.
So I don't know, James. I don't know if he's actually there because I know he was working on a song. Because he told me he missed a concert I did because he was working on his song. But I know, but I don't know. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about? I mean, I knew this second half is usually shorter because it's more you guys presenting than me, and yeah, Vicky.
I want to say that I was inspired to, well, I'm reading Warmth of Other Suns, which also deals with the whole subject. And also there's some very good new movies that were actually nominated for Academy Awards
Right.
that deal with the blues. And I highly recommend them too. Ma Rainey and
Black Bottom
and
Blues. Yeah.
What was the other one? United States versus what's her name?
I forget her name. She was more a jazz
Billie
singer.
Holiday.
Yeah,
Billie Holiday.
That was really good too.
Yeah.
They're both very good. I highly recommend those, plus the book.
Right, and it's great that it's out there and getting attention. They're really important. They're really important. So, well, I want to thank you guys for.
Robin,
Yeah.
would you let us know when your upcoming concerts are?
If you give me your emails, I have an email list and I email it not even every month, but I email when I have gigs, and which isn't every month nowadays, but in May I have like 3 things coming up. May 26th I'm doing a concert at the Cafe Lena in Saratoga Springs, and that's the only date I remember. I think it's but there's another one that's going to be on Zoom, and the one at Saratoga Springs is both live and streamed. And then I'm doing it's a presentation with a musician friend of mine, Mary Lou Ferrante. She's a traditional musician, and we're doing it's called The Melting Pot of American Music. It's gonna have a lot of dulcimer music and banjo and guitar and diddly bow, and that is I believe in May or maybe June, but if you give me your email, I can email you I'll email my list with all the dates, and then you'll know. So
do you want us to put it in the chat, or how do you want us to give you the email?
I tell you what, I'll put my email in the chat. How's that? And then if you guys want to be on my list, just email me.
Okay.
Okay. Because I may not get to see I won't get to copy. Yeah. So just email me and I will be glad to put you on my list. I'm excited about the Cafe Lena show. I did they were the first place I played after I sort of recovered from COVID. And but it was without an audience. It was just the sound person. There were 2 acts, me and an act before me. Everyone wore masks. I mean, they'll probably still do that for this show, but this time there's going to be 25 like real live people in the audience. So I haven't played in front of a live audience and like except online. Not that you guys aren't live.
That sounds like
in person.
Yeah, in person live is what I mean.
Right.
But thanks.
Robin, has Massachusetts changed the rules? Can singers sing indoors now at places, or can only the regular musicians do it?
I believe starting May 29th, singing will be allowed indoors everywhere, as long as there's social distancing. But I don't think that's happening yet.
I was wondering because a friend of mine's playing at Firefly tonight, and I was trying to figure that out.
Well, they could
and
play
someone
if they don't
texted
sing.
me a photo, and she's actually on the porch while the band is inside, I think.
Right, and so you can sing outside, and they have these things called singers masks, that have an extra layer, and they kind of stick out further. So, and they're really safe, and you can sing and everyone can hear it. So I have a couple of singers masks, which depending, I mean, I think it's going to take a lot for me to feel safe because I was so unsafe. But so I will probably, if I have an indoor gig, which I can't even imagine. I mean, Cafe Lena, it's going to be 25 people spread out with masks in a huge room. And I am going to be the only one singing, and I'm going to be like at least 12 feet from the audience. But I'll bring a singer's mask with me just in case. So, yeah. But right now, starting today, they lightened mask. You don't have to wear a mask for Massachusetts. You don't have to wear a mask outside unless you can't stay 6 feet from other people. Still have to wear a mask inside. Nothing's changed inside yet. But on May 29th, a lot of things are going to change. They just released all the stage 2 of stage 4 guidelines. So right now it's just you can be outside without a mask if you're not too close to anybody. And venues can go to 25% inside and out. And I think they can have singing inside as long as people are far away. I'm not sure. Can't remember that part. I have no plans. Cafe Lena is the only place I have outside gigs lined up. A handful. You know, as opposed to doing like 150 gigs a year, I have 4. So, but it's a start. It's a start. And I want to thank you guys for generously sharing your time to come here and be part of this, and actually working on songs. That was the coolest thing ever. And I do want to say, you know, if you liked it and you want to write more, the middle of June to the middle of July, I'm doing a 4-week Zoom songwriting class for the Monterey Cultural Council, and we're gonna dig deep into songwriting and cover a lot more stuff than we could do, you know, here. But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll write a lot of songs. So if you're on my email list, you'll find out about it. And thanks again. Thank you so much I want to thank the Becket Athenaeum, and I know there were 2 other libraries that also were involved.
Otis Library and the West Stockbridge Library. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank them for me also, and thanks again. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did, because I had a ton of fun. It was really good.
Right. Thank you, Robin.
You are inspiring, Robin.
Thanks guys, and I loved your songs. They were inspiring, all of them. They
were
really
wonderful,
good.
everyone. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's really cool. It's amazing. I'm just so impressed, and it did. I mean, it totally went with the Harlem Renaissance. It was very cool. So thank you, and have a great rest of your evening. Thanks again for coming, and hope to see you.
Thank you, everyone.
At a gig.
Thank you. Looking forward to your feedback.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah,
Good night.
thank you.
Nice
Bye,
to be with
guys.
everybody.